What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to La Vecchia Signora. It's a massive, massive match day today between Lazio and Juventus with major top four implications. And we got the band back together today, baby. Got Skanga, got Omar. Omar, no sleeves. Boys, you ready for today?
I am so excited to be back. I know it's been a while. It's so good to see you two guys. I know some people in here are going to be like, oh, here comes Skanga again with the losses. Listen, we've been losing without me, so settle down.
Yeah, that's what we needed. We needed this trio back in action for this crunch match, and hopefully that brings the good vibes because we got to win. We got to win today. Omar, how you doing, brother?
Oh, phenomenal as usual. So happy to be back with Tony. It's been a while. Not that it worked out great in previous seasons, but I still
Might be a
hanging out
trivia
with you.
question though. When the last time this actually was the panel, I can't actually recall.
I think it didn't happen in 2025. Like maybe late 2024.
Maybe.
I don't think it happened after January.
Might not have happened, but look at the
I should just
chat's
start smoking
excited.
again.
They're excited to see Skanga back in here, and they're ready for this one. And we got a lot in the news to tackle, obviously, in the build-up to this one. The news is around what's going to potentially happen in the future and everything. It seems like literally everything is up in the air, except for the one thing that old Berto wants to see. And we will get into that. Obviously, Lazio Juventus today. We're going to go through starting lineups. Tudor had a decision to be made. We've got his projected lineup. And yes, there is a watch along today. I know that it was in doubt, but it is going down, all right? So it's a big one. Didn't want to miss it, and I'm stoked that I'll be able to bring it for you all. Now, in terms of news, well, so Lookman's price tag 60 million euros. Another player from Atalanta, 60 million euros. The latest is probably too much for Juve wanting to splash on him, and I'd have to agree. Are we all in agreement on that one? No to Lookman at 60?
Can we stop with the Atalanta and Fiorentina players? Can we just...
But I got
There's
another
no other
Fiorentina
clubs in the
player
world?
coming up for you in a bit here. But yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Omar, you were always talking highly of Lookman. You wanted Lookman. You're interested in 60 million price tag. How's that make you feel? Because he was a player you wanted to see at Juve.
I still want to see him at Juve, but not for 60 million. We had this discussion, I believe, this morning. No matter how much money Juve has, invest in a coach, medical team, and training staff first. Without it, there's no point in bringing anyone in, no matter who you spend on. Spend all your money where it really matters, and then move down. I don't think Juve's team right now is, as bad. I mean, it can, you can inject a player here and there, but I don't think like another 60 million, 70 million signing is the solution. So no to Lookman for 60 million.
I might surprise everybody. I'm a yes at 60 million. But that's Lookman. That's their sporting director. That's their medical staff with the juice, okay? And maybe potentially, depending who the candidates are, even Gasparini, okay? You throw that little package together for 60 mil, you got yourself a deal. Lookman at 60? No, okay? So I am a no. And obviously, but yeah, J Medical and whatever. Yeah, we'll talk about injuries as that's come up again, and that's going to affect today's matchup. But that's just par for the course around here. Okay. Yes, everybody. Yes, 60 million again. I was saying the whole kit caboodle. Okay, don't worry about it. I don't want Lookman now. Højlund. Juve set to start discussions with Manchester United on Højlund.
Okay, I'll start this one. No clue who this guy is, but it's a short answer for me. This one is pissing a lot of people off. Like this one, when I was kind of navigating through the matrix there was a lot of hell no's right there. Fedekis in the chat. There was a lot of hell no's on this one. Yeah. Is anyone a hell yes on this, or even like a small squeaky yes? It doesn't sound like it.
Okay, my one thing since the
Why is it a
Højlund
no?
rumors came up. This is my one thing. Potentially and only if there is a loan with no obligation, like it's like a loan and an option, and we get an actual like number one, then I'd be open to it, because there were some loose rumblings about Manchester United being open to him going to Juventus on a loan that could start as immediate as the Club World Cup. If it's a loan and an option, I'm okay with that as long as we get an actual top target out of the list we have. Then I'm okay with it. But to actually go along some of the rumors from some of the outlets throughout this week where he's our actual top target, like one of the top targets, that's a hell no. That's a hell no.
Look, to be fully honest, I don't like any of the names that are brought up right now. Any of them. The only ones I like that don't seem like they're even achievable, like the Tonalis and Osimhen's. But all the rest, I don't like any of them. Any of them.
Why wouldn't Osimhen be achievable?
So here we go. Osimhen, 85 million euros we're willing to go to, because he's got a 75 million clause that is only for clubs outside of Italy. And the rumors are Juve's ready to splash to 85 million. And I will tell you this, that's not just what's going on in mainstream media. The word, like kind of the, word on the street around Italy too is that Juve's been chasing Osimhen for quite some time, and they want Osimhen. So 85 million euros to Napoli for Osimhen, I'm a no. I'm a no, boys.
Okay, I didn't realize it was 85. He's only 26.
Yep.
So I've always liked the player. I've always liked him, but 85. I would pay 60. Would you pay 60 for him?
Well, I mean, I'd pay 60 for him. 55, 60.
I'd pay 60 for him, but I'd still feel like, tough pill to swallow, because you're giving that money to Napoli, who are about to win the Scudetto. And you're taking a player that they didn't use to win the Scudetto. So I don't know if you're weakening them. And it doesn't align with the Conte rumors. If Conte is the guy who's coming in, why would Osimhen come in? He just kicked him out of Napoli less than a year ago. So things don't align, and 85 million, no way. Not for anyone, to be honest.
That's a lot of chicory.
And that's another thing too. So this has been an interesting discussion that has come up from it, and this is where I really wanted to take these rumors into, because you just hit the nail on the head there. I've been saying I don't think we should splash, period. I don't think we should splash on anybody, because the team has so many priorities that we have to get straight and round it out better. That a splash of 85, a splash of 80 on Tonali, especially at the midfield, I'm like, that just doesn't make sense to me. As much as I want Sandro Tonali to join Juventus, it doesn't make sense. However, the contradiction there and the rebuttal was, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to spend 40, 30 on a bunch of guys, or get a couple top guys that could be game changers for you? And I was like, okay, because you're spreading out your money. Is that the better approach, or getting to top tier talents? What's the better route to go?
The better route to go, for me at least, is up top. It doesn't really matter for me who the players are. I think a decent team was assembled this season, and with the right coach, this team that we have right now, when people are healthy, can achieve great things. I really do believe that. If you're going to splash somewhere, do it where it actually matters and where our problems have been. I mean, how much of Napoli have splashed last season? How much did Inter splash? They're buying players for free. Splashing doesn't mean success. Ask Man United. Ask Chelsea. And I don't think that's where the solution lies.
And here's my thing. So RB Comps, this is proving my point perfectly. Because he says, no one was complaining when we paid stupid money for Higuain. This is my exact point. Where was that roster around Higuain when we made that? When you splash like that at a club that doesn't make billions in revenue, Okay, when you splash like that, that's your like final piece type signing that you think is where you're at. You're making that signing now, trying to run before you can walk. And that's where my issue and my concern is. You know, that's how I look at it. The Higuain, yeah, nobody did complain because it was a massive signing, bringing in the top scoring striker in Serie A, taking him from Napoli and plugging them into a solid squad.
Well, hang on. People did complain. A lot of people complained.
And people still did complain. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was awesome. Yeah. I did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was it only him, by the way? We also bought Pjanic and Benatia in that same window. But you had a functioning team with a functioning system. It was easy to integrate players as good as they are. And I mean, when everything works fine and you add a final piece that is actually worth something, it should work out. Don't overdo it. Don't throw an Mbappe on Vini and Rodrigo who are doing great without him. But Juve needed a top-tier striker. He was the top striker in the league that season. We had the money. It was not an issue. And that the time was right to purchase a player for 90 million. Now it's not
we had the money because we sold Pogba. And people were like, "Oh, you waste the Pogba money on Higuain." Well, he turned out to be a beauty.
Yeah, I just think you've got to round out the squad a bit better, a bit more balanced with the money. And the biggest thing, this is the biggest thing for me. You've got to figure out your fucking coach's status. Like,
can we do that, please?
That's got to be done first and foremost because I'm sorry, like, what are we doing here? That's where we need to stop nickel and diming. Because it keeps happening over and over and over. Second choice, third choice options, cheap options. We tried the experiment. It was a disaster. It was the biggest disaster of this season. The biggest shame for me was Thiago Motta's performance, which I would have never expected to go that route. That was a piss off. In a Serie A that was wide open for the taking. We completely crumbled. Get it right. Has to be a top tier coach for me. Has to be a top tier coach first and foremost before anything.
Can I say something that did get right today? That top, buddy. What is that? That's a fucking beauty. That top you're wearing right there? That's nice.
Oh yeah.
It's a little tight. Is that from like grade school? But other than that, like what year is that from?
Buddy. It's because I'm built like I'm a unit, man. I'm a specimen.
Thank you. Just a normal tank top. Nothing too special about it, but I appreciate the kind words.
Sorry. I wasn't talking about you, Omer. But that's okay. That's a nice top, though. Anyways, I digress.
It's class, man. It's class.
Oh, yeah.
It's
beautiful.
Nice little zip.
Clean.
Back to the crest when we had Higuain, by the way. Now,
just don't forget to close it if you're cold.
The coaching carousel, the rumors. I'm sorry, but nobody's really exciting me. And we got into so Lewis and I a few days ago actually joined a group on Twitter for Spaces, or X now, whatever, on a Spaces, and it was great. There are a lot of supporters in the Arabic community that wanted us to go and just chat Juve with them. We had a blast. Absolute blast. And all the coaches came up and they feel so strongly about no to Antonio Conte. The majority of them are so hell-bent on no to Conte because it's a lack of fresh ideas. It's a lack of something new. It's going back to the well. I stand firm. I'm consistent.
Is it the lack of trophies?
I'm consistent.
Bingo.
I'm consistent. Okay, right now, things need to start making sense for Juventus.
Yes.
And in the situation we find ourselves in, there is nobody out there better suited that gives you the best percentages, okay? Lowest risk percentage of getting you back to where you need. 1 year, 2 years, it don't matter. That's your kickstart. Okay, you're on life support. This guy's coming in those paddles and let's
Clear.
go. Yeah. That's what's going on. There is nobody better suited for that.
Fucking Sweet entered the chat. Good to see you too, buddy. Okay, to your point, that's the perfect way of putting it, man. It's just a kickstart. People are like, oh, well, it's a new project. We have no project right now. I've been adamant on no to Conte earlier in the year because I'm like, oh, let's give Mutta time. That didn't really work. To your point, you need someone. It's not fresh ideas. It's just build the foundation. And I think he can come in and build that foundation just to get things to build from there. What are we building from right now?
This argument of European play, get it done domestically first and then worry about that.
100%.
Yeah. Like worry about that when you get there, when you cross that bridge.
Yep.
The resume is there. Nobody's better than Conte at doing exactly what we need, which is a kickstart.
My only concern with Conte is how many players on this roster will survive his preseason training.
Well, you know what? That's another good thing. Weed out this roster. Weed out the guys that, you know what? You ain't cut for it. If you can't make this, you're not made for this club. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's Fiorentina. We'll look at you in another 3 years. We might buy you back.
Who do you?
He already did that.
We will get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, he already did that in the past. He did it at Inter. Like he came in, kicked out Icardi, Nainggolan, all those assholes who were just a cancer to the dressing room. He did it at Juve. I mean, everyone was not up to it. It was Diego at the time and Krasic, although he stayed for the season, but he barely played. That's what Conte does. He weeds out all the shit players, all the guys who are not up for it, and that's what we need.
I tell you what, dude,
I got a fun game. Okay, go ahead.
McKennie's probably just losing his mind at these Conte rumors, okay? Because Conte, man, first of all, no sex, all right? Hard training and diet.
What?
McKennie would just, McKennie's bouncing immediately if Conte comes in, okay? No sex, no sex.
But he's exactly the type of manager that can take him to that next step.
Oh, I know. I'm just kidding because McKennie likes to take over all the ladies of Serie A.
Oh, yeah.
Can you guys, if Conte comes in, I'd like to hear from you guys, maybe even the chat too, a player that would suffer and a player that would excel. Like if they're kind of like right here now, when Conte comes in, which players would go like that?
Player that would excel?
Who's maybe kind of just...
I think Conte does a lot of good work with wing backs. Like he can turn like a Victor Moses or a Peluso part of a title-winning team. So maybe Tim Weah is one of the guys who can actually excel under Conte. Maybe it's Cambiaso to take that next step. He likes the hardworking guys. It's not about talent. It's not about how much technical you are or whatever. He has that in him. He can spot what players are good at and where they fit, and he injects them in there and he drills it into their mind that they're good and that they can do whatever, and it works. I mean, they took Kvaratskhelia away from his team with Neres injured, suddenly called up Raspadori, and it's like nothing happened.
There's a couple players that quickly came to mind for me for like excelling. One of them was Gatti. Another one was, for some reason, Nico Gonzalez. I think would actually like thrive in the setup, the way he runs the forwards and their two-man set typically.
Why Gatti? I see other people mention him. Why him?
Who?
Gatti.
I just think Gatti's actually like a little bit more versatile than he gets credit for. Does he have some errors? Does he make some mistakes? Yeah, but if Conte was to play in a three-man back setup and whatnot, and what he asks from those guys on the outside, I actually think Gatti would be huge. But
honestly, I think you can turn Bremer into like top 3 center backs in the world.
I already think Bremer's top in Serie A, and I mean, I think he could do that on his own without that injury. I think this season
Mhm.
probably goes a different direction as well.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, it's interesting. For Conte, though, I got to say, I don't think it's going to be an option that's there for Juve.
I agree.
De
Might not
Laurentiis
be.
cannot be that stupid to.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wow.
I stand corrected. But I mean, you've got to commit to the guy and you've got to keep the thing going. It would be absolutely silly not to. They are going to have a lot of money at their disposal as well to actually back him, however he wants. It would be very surprising. It would be a shock to me if De Laurentiis lets him get away after this season. We've been saying it. If this guy gets the job done, I actually think that that's his best feat as a coach, to be honest, taking this Napoli side. And it's funny because while we do admit that there's shortcomings in our roster, a lot say that it's garbage, it's trash, it's shit, one of the worst rosters Juve's ever had. Okay, but at the same time, we're losing to even more inferior rosters, and we are like not far separated from Napoli's roster that is getting the job done in Serie A. It's just like, for me, the coach is a massive, massive issue, and I think we do need to get somebody that is top tier and elite. They need to stop cheating out there.
And experience. None of those Italiano, Palladino, all those names. Those guys
Yeah.
need to keep doing what they're doing. Okay, they're doing fine, but winning them out after one season and putting them into the mess that is Juventus right now is not good. Not for them and not for Juve. You need someone who knows how to handle.
Yeah.
Because right now we have a herd of sheep that are just running around, and we
I
keep
think-
employing guys who can get them all together on the same page, walking the same direction.
I think what happened to Motta is really going to scare off some potential coaches, or not scare them off, but on both sides, it's going to be Juventus not willing to take the risk on like a new manager, and also the manager's like, I don't want to go to that shit show. Like, how much you got to fix there? Because coaches talk, right? These managers, they all talk, right? So I'm sure words on the street, Motta's put the word on the street how things were going. So but guys like Conte wouldn't care, right? Guys like that.
You know what else talks? Money talks. We gotta stop cheaping out, because money talks too. It's just like, dude, this is the job. Like, you guys know what it's about, and that's why you need an experienced guy. That's why you need a top tier guy, because they're gonna be the guys that are aware of the situation. They're gonna be the guys that know what it's like at the big clubs, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm ready for it. Like, no more experiments. Like, this is your first crack at a big club. It's like, no, not right now. Not right now if you have options that are elite. If we don't, which I actually don't believe we're going to have those options, then it's going to be a difficult decision for Juventus. Now we get to my next point. I have a problem with the guys making that decision first and foremost. That's my problem, okay?
Yeah.
I go back because everyone that's destroying Giuntoli, and I've said giving Motta that much leash was disaster, and that was stupid from all accounts, not just Giuntoli but the guys above him. But now these guys, I just don't trust them. Ferraro and Scanavino, they have no clue other than numbers, other than books. Like, they have absolutely no clue. Elkan's, yeah, he's been around a long time. He's not an issue. False. He's been around a long time, but he's been in the back, okay? And he hasn't been a figure that's actually been in control. So now all of a sudden, when he's making decisions, and he's making decisions like Scanavino's actually getting promoted and everything, that's wrong. These guys I need to see a big change above Giuntoli. I don't trust these guys. And I think until you get it right in the office, us as fans are going to take that gun and we're going to point it in all the wrong directions. It starts there. We have to have a change. And Chiellini being brought in, that's a start, but that's not enough. I don't trust these guys to make the right decision. I really don't.
Yeah, Scanavino and Ferraro were more of, I'm going to say this lightly, just give me a minute. they were good for what they were when they came in. They were really just placeholders, right? They came
Temps,
in,
yeah.
they were temps. That transition period, any company usually does this when you're going through a transition period. You bring in like temporary executives, and then when it's stable, you move on. They're probably a year past their expiry date, at least a year past their expiry date. No, and they're good at what they do, except for finding sponsors. Like, how could we not find a sponsor? That's a whole other story. But that's it. They're just past their expiry date.
Yeah.
And that falls on Elkin to find their replacements.
Yeah.
And the board.
It's frustrating. It's annoying. And I'm going to get to this one. So the latest rumor on Rolando Mandragora. Okay.
What are we even
Juve is
talking
looking
about?
at. This guy was our property. From
Yes.
16 to 18, he played one match for Juve. Right. We got rid of him. And now we're looking at getting him back because he may or may not be renewing the contract. It could be a cheap deal. And I said it when it happened. No matter what's going on with Motta, all this, you get rid of Fagioli. It's at a cheap deal. We should have been using him because the midfielders that were in were doing garbage other than Thuram and Locatelli. But that's besides the point. Now you're going for a midfielder that I don't rate above him after selling him because you were giving too much leash to a friggin' coach. And we did it with our captain, our current club captain. No matter what the minutes we were playing, you couldn't see, and this is my big thing with all those guys, you couldn't see the effect that was going to have on the locker room beforehand. Like, you needed that to go down. You needed him pushed out, and then you needed to see the pushback that was coming back from the players. You couldn't compute that. I know Ferraro couldn't because he's fucking sleeping half the time. But
wow.
Elkan, Scanavino, for them to play this card like now everyone's under evaluation at Juve, even Giuntoli. No, you idiots. You could have shut it down at any point in time. Sure. And you didn't. I don't trust them because it was not only Giuntoli that gave all that leash. It was those guys too. So for them to come in after the fact, after we shot our own depth in the foot because a coach can't use Rugani. So the deal made no sense to us financially, and we pissed away any type of depth there. Yeah, 4 games in, you lose Bremer for the year. Awesome.
Yeah,
that hurt. It's shocking. It's shocking. These guys are not fit to run things. And I don't see things getting better until that's sorted out. I think you're on a slippery slope to being a club that's, again, got its fan base pointing the gun in all the wrong directions than where it needs to be. And it's at the top. And look no further than that.
I think it's just demeaning. It's humiliating going for Mandragora this summer. Yeah. It has nothing to do with how he plays or whatever. I think just giving them Fagioli for like nothing and then buying Mandragora for probably a higher price than what we sold Fagioli to them, who was already our player, okay, back in 16-18. Like someone said, it will not profit. It's humiliating. I wouldn't do it just for that reason alone.
Yeah. I'd be at the point now where you shut down the rumors, be like, we're not looking at Mandragora. Just to save a little face and have a little bit of fucking spine about you.
Yeah.
Seriously. There's no other targets out there. Like there's no other clubs we can deal with. We always have to deal with Fiorentina. Like what the hell is going on?
They must have upgrades or expansions they want for Viola Park, and they're looking at the number one for like we built the damn thing. It's shocking, but yeah, the Mandragora rumors that could die like now. In terms of the other stuff, Vlahovic, 3 rejections on renewal. I don't know if it's 3, but he definitely rejected a renewal. I mean,
I believe it. I believe it was at least twice.
And Juve, we know what the game plan has been. That salary's a disaster. So yeah, they're gonna try and bring it down. That makes perfect sense. Bring it down. Yes. and still try to move him. We talked about this in the green room. I mean, if you're Vlahovic, you're heading down the road of them selling you anyways.
Yep.
He maxed out the money that, you know what, Arriva Bene and Cherubini gave to him. So
correct.
He's like, hey, no, I don't need to take a cut. I'm not going to take a cut, and you're going to move me anyways. So I might as well max it out and then take the move anyways. Dick move, whatever you want to see it, he's entitled to it. So it is what it is. But Dusan, 40 to 50 million euros is what Juve is going to sell. Take a wild stab. What do you actually think we're going to see on this deal? Let's be
35.
honest. 35, you think?
20 million max.
I'm guessing it's going to be a Fede Chiesa situation, and the number's going to be brutal.
No way.
Yeah. I agree. I don't.
I think it's going to be like 25.
Would you have paid 35 for Dusan right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're heading for relegation.
I think a certain manager out there. I think there's a manager out there who'd be like, "So what'd you say? 35?" I think there's a manager who'd be like, I can work with him. What he's done in the past. He was still our league scorer last year. Like, it's not like he doesn't score goals. So I think a manager out there would be like, I can work with 35.
There's also sporting directors out there that see the situation of like a crazy salary, downward trajectory in play time, shut down because of Kolomuani, who came in on a loan. The fact that he's going into final year, we got to get something on it, and I think they're going to jump on it. And I think it's going to be super low.
I'm not disagreeing. It's a little scary that how right you guys might be at the 20 million. I'm hoping for 40, but when you sort of put everything you just said, kind of put it all together, yeah, you're going to have managers say, I could do 35, but you're going to have other sporting directors that are going to say, man, I got to pay that salary plus like whatever to the agent, all that. How's 19.5 plus bonuses sound?
Yeah.
And if we have to try and close targets, like Tonali, I still think Tonali's coming, but I think the Juventus is they may have to unfortunately pull the trigger on a lower deal to get money in to close another deal.
Yeah, we got to see. We got to see what's going on. Meanwhile, Mirko Di Natale says Juve have always been present for Jonathan David. And they are amongst the clubs that are in contact there. I still say bring in Jonathan David. Because he's a free. Don't worry about the bonuses. Don't worry about all those other fees because you could spread it out. You can work that. That's fine. You need another striker. We need some experience too, though. How come no links whatsoever to even just taking a stab, just even looking at De Bruyne? Why are there other teams in Italy being linked and Juve's not even thinking about it?
Salary?
First of all, I don't think he'll survive 10 minutes at Juve. Like after the first training session, he'll be injured for 5 months. I'm sorry about his physical condition. It's just not
Kevin De Bruyne from Man City that's leaving, right? A lot of rumors put him in MLS, but
not because he's not okay, because Juve, the way Juve operates right now, it's not a good place for injury-prone players, and he is injury-prone. He's a phenomenal player, probably top 10 of my last decade favorite players. I don't think Juve can, first of all, afford him. Second of all, keep him healthy and actually utilize him. I mean, look, Douglas Luiz was injured for the entire season almost. He wasn't injured since 2021.
I hear you. But here's the thing. Midfield doesn't need the biggest boost. So if you're looking at splashing 80-something million on Tonali, if you got De Bruyne on a free and he could play and you could a load management type scenario with him, not that Juve would ever do that because we're insane and we never individualize anything training related. But if you were to do that and smart, I would take him for 30% of the matches on a free if the wages made sense. But this is one of the things. we're not even linked. We're not even rumored on anyone with actual experience or any actual winners. Like, we're not.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think we give enough credit to the experienced players. I mean, take us back, what was it, 3-4 years ago? Who would have wanted here, out in the chat, and you guys, who would have signed Giroud, 35-year-old out of Chelsea? Who would have said yes to
Luca
that?
Natale was
Yes.
adamant about bringing in Giroud.
Well, then he
100%
was
he was.
smarter than all of us.
Wow.
Because Giroud got a mediocre Milan a title.
He thinks I'm a 3-hour drive away from him. So geography, at least, not until. But yeah, he wanted Giroud. I mean, I've been saying this all along, that while we shit on the roster, and I understand it for obvious reasons, I just think the biggest issue is the lack of balance. There's no winners. There's no like serious experienced players on there. And on top of that, you don't have superstars. There are no superstars on this team. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. Because sometimes you get two. You don't just have a superstar. You have like a proven winner that is a superstar. You could get a bonus, right? But more often than not, you get your superstars and then you get your proven winners.
I don't think Juventus needs a superstar to win Serie A. To do well in Europe, yes, but I think you just need, to your point, this summer, 1 or 2, maybe 3 veterans, just guys with, like you said, with the track record to come in wherever they fit. But
Yeah,
we do need somebody with some experience. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I would like to see somebody with experience up front as a combination to like a David signing, whatnot. But somewhere on the pitch, you need a couple pieces of serious experience, like some winners. Like, it'll go a long way. We might not like the age, we might not like the number completely, but sometimes you gotta give it up just to have that around. Like, man, it takes me back to when the injury crisis hit this season. And I said, why are we not even looking at the free agents? Why are we not even just entertaining it to see, And everybody's like, no, nobody in there. Thomas Muller has been a name that's been thrown around and everybody says, no, done, whatever. That is a winner.
In a heartbeat.
That is a winner.
Heartbeat.
And I've always been on the fence with Muller, and to be honest, it actually makes a hell of a lot of sense. Makes a hell of a lot of sense. When you're talking about the potential setup we could play, when you think about Thomas Muller, how he best fits into lineups, he makes so much bloody sense as an experienced winner that could come in.
Today, if it was today, I would take Muller over De Bruyne on this team.
Yeah. I told you early in the season, I would have taken Pepe. Pepe from Porto.
That son of a bitch. I don't even like hearing his name. That's
bring back Simone.
You're right, Omar. Omar. I probably would have taken him as well. 100%.
I think my favorite Pepe moment wasn't even on the pitch. It was when Cristiano Ronaldo drew him as a cartoon, and it actually looked spot on. It was friggin' hilarious. That's my favorite Pepe moment. But man, I do honestly believe we got to figure it out when it comes to experience. Everybody, we are going to start getting into this game because Tudor in his presser, very, very interesting choice of words. I am convinced, Tudor says, we will make Champions League. Are we convinced? We're going to get into it because we're going to preview this matchup, okay? I'm going to preview this matchup. But right now, we got to go back in time because it's been a while since in league play, Serie A, Juventus has defeated Lazio in Rome. Do you remember the match that we last did it? Not in any other competition, but league play. Do you remember it?
I think I remember the match. I think it had like 2 Bonucci penalties or something, but it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was away to Lazio at the Olimpico, but I'm not 100% sure.
I have no idea.
We have this little bad boy on. This is actually a nice kit, actually. Take away the 4XE. This was a nice kit. Really nice kit. We were wearing this. We're wearing this bad boy.
So that's, what is it, Pirlo season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-0 victory. And it was Bonucci from the spot with the victory. We got a couple right in the chat there. That's the last time we beat them in league play in Rome. We got to take care of business today. Okay. We're going to look at this matchup here between these teams. Obviously, pivotal matchup for top four with both teams locked on at 63 points. It's tight all around us in the standings. When you look at Lazio, unbeaten in their last 6 league matches, 3 wins, 3 draws, strong at home despite the recent draws and whatnot. And they're going to, I have a feeling they're going to get after it. Why wouldn't you? The Stadio Olimpico can be a hostile spot, and they're going to want to get the jump. And Tudor's been a little bit interesting in approaches and everything. And while I feel he gets a lot right, and fundamentally we're good, organizationally we're good, I still feel that this team can't put together a full 90.
Well, they were the first couple games, right? The first couple games they had a couple
attacking.
They were attacking the defenses through their center backs, and then we sort of just slowly went back to that wing play and crossing. It's like, get back to what we did the first couple of games, putting teams under pressure, putting their center backs under pressure. Just haven't done it.
Yeah. Now, when you look at Juve, away from home, haven't won in the last 4 away from home.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Tudor in general hasn't won away from home. All his wins came at home.
We haven't won.
Draws, right?
And you couple in, you throw in that loss to Parma, which it would have been massive at this juncture. That's ugly. So yeah, we haven't beat them at home in league play since 2021. We haven't won away since 5 matches ago. So yeah, there's a lot on the line there. As far as Lazio, we know that they like to play with possession. They're going to have Guendouzi and Rovella trying to dictate that tempo. Their wide players, Zaccagni, maybe even Isaacson, look to stretch us out. At the back, we're going to have Savona filling in. And then there's a big decision to be made by Tudor. And we've got the projected lineups. We'll take a look at it. For Lazio, they are going to be without Hisaj. He's out. And I believe they have Patrick and Nuno Tavares out as well. But Marusic will be coming back. So he should be back in there. That'll help them. But they've got some guys that they're going to want in the lineup that are also out. For us, Gatti returns, but from the bench. And Cope Miner's still out. Dusan Vlahovic is back. And then Yildiz, this is his last match suspended. I'm still furious about that. That was garbage. But here we are. This is your predicted lineup for Lazio. And yeah, I mean, Dia can create some problems. It says that Nuno Tavares is out, however, finds himself in on here. I actually think he will be in there. Romagnoli, Gila was, of course, the one that got the own goal in our previous victory against him earlier in the season. That was a frustrating game, but we were actually all over them. And we actually controlled the play well. So even with Guendouzi and Rovella in there, I still think balance of play is going to be up for grabs and be a battle. They do have guys that can create problems up top with Isaacson, Dia, Zaccagni, Castellanos.
Yeah.
It's going to be it'll be a battle.
Super fast. They're super fast. Like when they break out in attack, counter attack, they're super fast. We're not that fast. Not like them anyway. So I really hope Tudor is wary of that and kind of prepared for it. I don't think this game is I mean, it's super important. It's the most important game we have. This is a do or die for Juve. This is the point in time where it's still in our hands. If we lose or even draw this match, it's out of our hands. We seriously need other teams to do specific stuff. Now, there's an interesting thing here in this fourth spot race because I mean we have three teams on the same points, and now we have the head-to-head against Lazio. We don't have it against Roma. Roma are playing Atalanta away and still have Milan. Lazio play Inter next match. So we have to win that because on paper we have the easier games. I mean, Milan just beat Bologna 3-1 yesterday. So Juve can't fuck this up.
Our fate is in our hands. We just got to take care of business. Yeah. That's what it is.
Well, it's been that way for a month.
It's a final. Simple
as that. I appreciate this comment from Matt too, that they went out to God knows whoever the hell that club is. But you have to understand, I can give you a laundry list of teams that we have said that throughout this entire season.
Come on.
Should is a terrible word. We're going to be okay. I hope you are right though, brother. I hope you're right, but I can give you a laundry list of teams that we would be saying the same, that we just couldn't get across that finish line today. We have to take care of business. Igor Tudor set to start Alberto Costa on the outside right in Cambiaso's absence. That is really the only change we see in this lineup from our last matchup. Is this what you two gentlemen would have done?
No.
In his cameos, I haven't disliked what Costa brings. So is this the time to do it? Like to put him out there, start out in the wing? Probably not. But I don't know. I'd like to hear what Omer thinks. I'm on the fence with him. I don't know. That's the one that sticks out to me.
No, with the severity of this match and us keep complaining about no experience and all that, I wouldn't play a youngster who just arrived in January and barely has like 200 minutes in him on the pitch. I don't know, 150 minutes, whatever he has. This game is a final for me. It's not time for experiments. But I hope I ate my words. Tomorrow I won't be on the pod, but I hope if I'm wrong, say it. Say Omer was wrong and Costa was the right choice. It's just too much of a risk for me on a do or die game.
I appreciate that Costa at least is in a natural position for himself. Yes. However, it creates McKennie not being in a natural position for himself. And I'm so sick and tired of fighting guys in natural positions. Imbangula, Chico Conceição, and maybe Chico Conceição not natural in that role behind the four, but I would still do it before that. Adzic, I would even do before. I understand the severity of this game, but has McKennie over the last little bit been the same guy to where you're like, he has to be out there in the games? He's looked pretty tired, and we didn't give him rest. He's been playing full 90s. And I know that we're only at one game a week, but it's like, man, if you have to have him out there, play him as one of the outsides and utilize a player. Which area of the pitch has been suffering the most? That is where I look to keep your positions as natural as possible. Utilize one of your actual advanced players.
Like, and don't forget who he plays against. You have two of the better performing players at Lazio this season. He's on the same wing as Nuno Tavares and Zaccagni. Both did phenomenally well this season. I wouldn't give that task to a youngster who came in January. I just wouldn't.
Yeah, that's just another thing that we're kind of going against the grain with this. This is a little wild from Igor, you know?
Yeah.
I hope it works out. Hope it pans out. It's going to be interesting. We are getting to set the Tony and then our predictions. Skanga, who's officiating this bitch?
Well, it's our old friend Davide Massa. But here's the thing. This guy, I was looking at so he's done 215 Serie A matches. He doesn't do a lot of our matches. I think he's a fourth official for ours. He has, so I went through the numbers. So he goes 4.9 yellows per game in those 215 matches, 21% red cards, 31% PK. So I think it was like 37 and 67 matches he's given those. So in terms of matches he's done for us, this season our 2-1 win at home to Milan, our 2-1 win away at Monza, and then last season he did our 2-0 win against Lazio in the Coppa Italia at home. He did 1-0 win away to Genoa last season and our 2-0 win at home to Torino. So we haven't lost in our last 5 when he's in the center. I didn't see any red cards in those matches. There might have been one, but I don't recall any. Dusan Vlahovic, no goals in any of those games. Oh, 1 goal. Whenever I kind of see him refereeing other matches, there's always some sort of issues, but I don't recall any issues with this guy when he's the center for our matches. But
he looks a little like Fratesi. I don't like him.
He does. That's exactly. Every time that picture pops up, I'm like, is that?
It looks like Fratesi, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Maybe it's Fratesi's sister.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I hate all the referees in Italy. I mean, there's no single one that says, "Oh, this guy's a good one."
Yeah.
I think Doveri is the top tier, but he has this Inter thing with the Inter bag. But to be honest, a guy to keep a messy match, in order, I would take Doveri, but I still don't think he's like Colina level.
Man, yeah, I don't know. The top guys are really nothing special in Italy. When it comes to this one, again, reminder everybody that we haven't beaten them in Rome since 2021. They've also won the last 2 in league play over there. So time for the prediction challenge, everybody. Final score, 2 tiebreakers. You know how we rock it. And who's going to kick us off on the panel?
Oh, I've been
if
ready.
If you saw the match day prediction, we spun the wheel to see what the wheel said, and it went 2-1 Lazio. But you know what I say to that wheel?
I have no idea what you're talking. I can start if anyone else. I'm ready. I'm going. Fuck it.
Go ahead.
So, I saw this yesterday. So until you gave me all the numbers today, I was like, Juve's plus 210 and a draw's plus 210 and Lazio's plus 135. I'm like, that's a little bit of an underdog. Didn't realize we haven't won there since 2021. Probably should be like plus 270. So I'm going with, this is what I've already put money on. Plus 900 for a 2-1 win for Juve. I have a little bit of Cicoria on a 3-2 win for Juve, plus 3,300. Just a little bit, kind of spreading around a little bit. Got to feed the kid. I also have Tudor goal plus 650, and I have a Kalulu's not starting, is he?
Kalulu?
Is he starting? He's starting.
Yeah,
of course he's starting.
Good, because I put money on him to score at plus 2,400. I also have Juve to score in both halves, plus 400, and both teams to score in the first half at plus 370.
So,
okay.
Based on stats, first of all, I hate playing at the Olimpico. Absolutely hate it. We don't do well there. Now, under Tudor, Juve have not won away and did not score in the second half in any match. All our goals came in the first half. So we kind of need to shut it down in the first half. For me, 2 goals minimum. We have to go into the second half with 2 goals. And you know what? 2-1 Juve. We are winning it. We are getting into Europe because we're fucking Juve. And I don't care about anyone else. This is the time to put up or shut up. And let's go. This is Juve.
I love it.
Let's fucking
love it.
Let's fucking go.
Let's stand behind our team.
1-1. Matt. 2-0. I have no fear with this game.
Well, Matt, you should.
Adam, 2-1.
Then you're the only smart guy around here.
George, 1-1. Gonzalez goal. Fede Chiesa, 2-1. Juve, I'm backing Mac to score. Drin, I'm in a good mood today. 3-0 Juve. 2-2 draw for Sweaty Air and 2-1 Juve. Very tight game. We pull it out in the end. And then we get a 1-1 from Paolo, our own Paolo. Zaid coming in here 2-0. I am going to go with this. We will not keep a clean sheet, in my opinion.
No chance.
There will be goals scored here. This is another statistic that follows these teams playing. Majority of the games for some many years right now have had both teams score, and I think both teams scored today in this one, okay? The last one was 1-0 us with a known goal, but I think both teams get on the board. I see a 2-1 Juventus win coming, okay? 2-1 Juventus. I'm going to say that the Stadio Olimpico claims somebody today from one of the sides, and somebody will be injured, and maybe that is the difference in how Juventus gets the edge. But I think somebody leaves this game hurt. That pitch is known to claim bodies.
It is.
I think it claims a body today, and that could maybe have an effect on this. I also think that you're gonna get a set piece goal from Juventus.
Oh,
the fourth one of the season today. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. It's happening.
You know what would be my dream scenario? Dusan coming in at like the 70th minute and scoring a free kick, like you said, to win the match. I still want him to score one more goal because he is leaving. He's not going to be a Juventus player anymore after this season, I believe. But I still want one more from him, you know, for all time's sakes, when we actually thought he was going to be the next guy.
Yeah.
I'll take a set-piece goal from Pinsolio. I don't give a shit. Anybody
I would love to
hit
see it, man. Jeez. He's got to put down the vino and the cigar hanging out there watching. Now,
get an extension.
The predictions are in. It's going to be a big one. I remind everybody there is a watch-along today, okay? 20 minutes before kickoff, I'll be live, and then we get ready for this one. This one's massive, massive.
Bless your heart.
Pierre, would you rather miss out on top four but sign Conte, or win out from here and continue with Tudor plus Champions League football next year?
The second one.
The first one.
Oh, really?
The first one. Yeah. Yeah, I think if it does happen and it means Conte comes in, I think that's a good building block for the future. And I'm not looking only to the next season and whatever happens and then start all over again. I'm okay with being out of Europe as long as we can focus on what we always said. I know the money is an issue. I know.
Hit him, Berto. Hit him with it. Do it.
Okay.
This is actually really difficult because
no, it isn't.
The funds without making Champions League suck, and then he's gonna put a bond in, and you still may lose guys. So it's like, but I'm torn because I completely agree, and I've been saying you need a top tier elite coach. I don't think Tudor is the answer long term, but my God, we can't sacrifice Champions League.
Okay, here's a curveball. What if it's Conte in Europa League, so you finish 5th? Then I would be a yes.
A little bit more money. That's a best of both worlds.
Unless Inter win the Champions League and then probably get another spot.
Whoa.
We do not say those words on this airwaves. You shut your mouth.
Imagine a world where you're asking PSG to save football, for fuck's sakes. Imagine that. Okay, listen, this is a crazy question, Pierre. This is very, very difficult because you need an elite coach.
Good question, though.
But you can't lose out on Champions League, so it's extremely difficult. This whole supporting teams in Europe thing, okay?
Go suck a dick.
Oh,
whoa, okay, easy.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I just all these people with the Inter this it. I don't. Sorry.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's the first one to a cast member, right?
That's the first card to a cast member.
Yeah, we had a bet.
Proud of you. I knew it was going to be you. I knew it. I just knew it. But that's crazy. Okay, but I agree with you. It's crazy to me. Okay,
wow.
It's crazy to me. You want to talk about like what's good for Italy? First of all, we gain nothing with them going on, with them doing this. We gain nothing. Nothing. Second is, respect is not a one-way street. Okay? It goes both ways. So when you want to dedicate tifos to us not doing well in Europe, but you want us to cheer you on or what? No. No. Have some self-respect, people.
Just a little bit.
Have some self-respect. I saw a Real Madrid fan cheering insane for Inter to defeat Barca. He didn't give a fuck about Spain. Mm-hmm. It is a rivalry. It is one of the most heated rivalries. What on earth? If you can bring yourself to cheer and support those scumbags, I can't even fathom doing that. I literally cannot even fathom doing that.
We carried the torch for Italian football in Europe for a long time. All the other teams will just shit in the bed, let alone Inter, Milan. No. How many of them have cheered for us? How many of them have stood by? Yeah, we want Juve to win that. They fucking hate us and don't want us to win.
You win 9 on the trot. You think we get one guard of honor or anything? Once they win it once, the immediate year that Juve breaks that streak, that we lose it, there's a guard of honor. It's are you guys serious? This for Italy and all the other clubs there and the league in general, okay?
Yeah.
Absolute joke. But to actually bring yourself to cheer on Inter while calling yourself a Juventus fan, just don't even say that you're a Juve fan. That's wild. The good of Italy? Good for it? What? We're the best damn thing for fucking Italy. We have been the best damn thing for Italy, and nobody else cares. So why would I care about that?
And what did Italy give us in return?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. What did the Serie A give us in return? Nothing but trying to take us down. So, pardon my language, but fuck you to all the other Italian teams. You weren't there to support us and say, oh, it's good for the Italian league and blah, blah, blah. No, it was good for Juve, and now it's good for Inter, and I don't want anything good for Inter happening. That's
the thing that pisses me off the most is that some of the people that are doing it are actually seen as influencers and whatnot. And then they actually dupe people because of their ulterior motives and their gain. Then they actually dupe people into doing that and losing their goddamn dignity and self-respect. And no, you do not do that. Okay? You want to know what to do with Interisti? You can chant Interisti pezzo di merda and give them one of these. Okay? That's what you do.
By the way, why does Italy need saving? When did all that happen? When did that gap from other leagues started?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Omer, okay? Because if you want to talk about what's best for Italy and support them as saying that is what the best is for Italy, remember that all the people in power and all the people that made the decisions and made the calls on one of the most stupidest things in history of Italian football in 2006 all had ties to one club, to which the league has still yet to ever actually recover from. That came from only one set of scum. The dirtiest, filthiest, and biggest fucking scumbags in Italy. Okay? Mm-hmm. That all stemmed and happened from them. And if you don't think so, go do your research because it's all out there. So in turn, it's crazy levels of hypocritical to say you do it to support Italian football. Fuck it. They ruined it.
I refer back to my previous statement that got me a yellow card. That's all I'm going to say. I refer to my previous statement.
For anybody who's doing it, hey, to each your own, but you're getting one of these. Straight red. Straight.
I wasn't referring to anybody specifically. Because you see a lot of I'm on the Matrix a lot. So I see a lot of different people saying, "Oh, good, it's good for Italian football," or other accounts for other Serie A clubs saying, we should. I wasn't saying anybody specific. I know that was happening in the chat here. I'm just saying in general, there is zero reasons for you to even watch. I didn't even know there was a game this week, and I saw in our group chat someone mentioned Inter game. I'm like, oh, is that today? No idea that they were playing this week. Now, some be like me.
That's enough about Inter. Thank you, podcast.
We had to get that out though. That was really driving me nuts. All right, and now that another thing that drove me nuts, you got the lead in the 88th minute. Barca just clamped down. What the fuck, man? Your defensive shape in the 88th. Oh my goodness.
But that's the worst thing about football right now in general. Just it's all about attack. No one knows how to defend or clamp down. They just don't.
What's a football conspiracy theory you actually believe in?
That Morata is just a trading card to balance the books. For any club who needs it, just ship him around. Use him, and what's the term? I forgot. Damn, what's the term?
I don't know a lot of football conspiracies. Maybe the group chat can just throw some in there.
Mm-hmm. I believe really that Lloyd Kelly was a purchase for something that's going to come on the back end from Newcastle. Don't ask me what happened to the good old days when you just sent a few escorts over, but apparently we had to buy Lloyd Kelly.
I believe that the World Cup is fixed to a certain round. I believe that there is shenanigans to get certain teams in certain groups and then certain teams to move on.
I believe UEFA is like, oh yeah. I believe UEFA has got some dirty shit going on with...
The Fix is in. I can't remember the author's name. That was a good book. The Fix is in. That was a really good book.
Fix is in.
My next one, the one I actually do believe is what George is saying here about Ronaldo in the '98 World Cup. There are tons of conspiracies around what happened back then. No, that he was drugged. He suddenly passed out in his room, and he was out of the final before France. The day of the final, passed out, and I don't remember. Roberto Carlos was with him in the room. I don't remember exactly what happened, but then he came into the locker room after it was already out, and the projected lineup didn't have him. The projected team didn't have him in it. Came back into the locker room and told the manager, "I can do it. I can bet," and he couldn't. He was awful. And then, and now the conspiracy is that. I'll send you something about it so you can read. But the conspiracy was there are a lot of involvements in there of Nike and other clubs pushing for him to play because he was the biggest stars and he wasn't ready to play at all. And that's how it happened. And the second one is the 2002 World Cup, Italy and South Korea versus Spain and Italy.
That was not a conspiracy.
That
son of a bitch went to jail. He was a drug mule. That's not a conspiracy. That's a fact.
Yeah.
What are you talking? The guy went to prison.
It's a fact that he's an asshole. He went to prison for drugs, but I don't remember it was ever confirmed that he was paid to let South Korea win the match.
He also went to jail recently. This is 2 years ago that all this stuff about drug trafficking and all this crap came out, but that was the biggest screw job ever.
But do you remember all the Spanish fans laughing at Italy you lost to South Korea? They lost the next match to South Korea in the quarterfinals. Oh, I haven't laughed at the Spanish that hard ever. It was 4 days later. I point anytime somebody walked past with a Spanish flag, I just pointed right in their face and just laughed right at them.
Yeah.
Good old Spain, Italy.
What a time that was.
Who gets the preliminary day? All right. Let's take a look at these mutts over here for Lazio. We got that's a lot to pick from here. It's got to be Guendouzi, man. That hair is stupid.
Oh, absolutely. It's not even a question.
Yeah, and he's just one of those pricks to play against. Guendouzi. Yeah. Loading it up. There. Gotta be him. Skanga, who you going with? Somebody else?
The
Castellanos is a
MLS
fish.
guy. The MLS guy. How this guy is? I don't know. I can't stand that Castellanos guy. I think he's overrated. I just can't. I can't stand. I'll give it to him. He gets mine.
There you
for
go.
Sure.
There you go. Castellanos, and that seemed to be a bunch. Romagnoli getting a bunch. Okay. I like it. Firing at will here. We're going to knock off a few more, and then we're going to shut her down and get ready for this big game, everybody, because it's actually an early start time. So the watch along will start probably like in an hour and a half. So I'm not afraid of Lazio, but very afraid of Venezia. I'm sure that the last match of the season will be the real do or die. There's only 1 point from Lecce that separates Venezia. Your views? I think today is massive. Today is crucial. With those two opponents, I mean...
Venezia away.
You got to take care of business today. You got Milan that defeated Bologna, which helped. This is a big swing with Lazio, who's right there with us. Roma is in the mix. You've got to win today. Okay. Udinese and Venezia are going to be expected wins. It doesn't mean they're guarantees, but my God, this one has to be. Be.
Omer said it right. This is a final today. It's a final.
Yeah. I get what he's saying, and I also can relate because the amount of points we dropped this season to Venezia as well doesn't give me any confidence. But when that match arrived, we could be sitting a bit more comfortably in fourth. Like we can maybe draw that game, because if we win Lazio today and then they lose against Inter next week, and Roma lose to Atalanta today, then we might have the luxury of drawing that match.
Exactly. Today is 3 points. It's you go out, you get after it. You have to bring home 3 points in this one, or it gets very, very sketchy. Today it's a final. It's a final. Period.
I've been saying this all season. I have more faith in the teams around us shitting the bed than us gaining points. So I agree that it's a final tip. I'm with you. I still have faith that other teams are going to drop a lot more points than we are.
Yeah, like the Bologna. Only issue is that you have obviously the team we play today, and you have Roma that are all right there, and even Bologna still right there. So it's like, if it was one team, it's like, okay, yeah, they'll probably drop, whatever, you'd be okay. But the fact that there's so many, it's a little unsettling.
I didn't think there'd be this many. Yeah.
I will set the record straight. I like Di Gregorio, but if there's a chance for Donnarumma, let's go. History dictates that Italy's number one always wears Juve's shirt. Zoff, Peruzzi, and Buffon.
Okay.
I agree.
See, I disagree. What is this hate with Di Gregorio? Like,
I don't think it even has to do with hate for him. I think it's just
not hate.
Yeah,
absolutely not hate. It just Donnarumma is a major reason why Paris Saint-Germain are in the final right now.
Okay.
Without him, they're not in the final. And everyone always talks about the playing. He can't play with his legs, and I don't give a shit. He's a phenomenal shot stopper in goal, and that's the first and most important thing for a goalkeeper. And yeah, he's a level above. He's probably, like, who's better than him right now? Because a lot of the guys have fallen off. Oblak, Courtois, Manian, all those guys didn't have phenomenal seasons in the past few. Donnarumma keeps getting better every year.
I am a huge Di Gregorio fan. That is my guy. Like, he's huge. Donnarumma is, he's elite. And he's also a proven winner with experience. Like, you kind of need that. If the option was there, financially, if it worked, Di Gregorio's his value is more than what we paid for him. He's one of those guys, million? Too. Picked him up for 16, 17, some bonuses in there. Like, Donnarumma, I would love to see Donnarumma at Juventus. Do I think it's something we need to, like, chase? By all means, no. But, like, if the opportunity presented itself, that is an upgrade. Yeah. God damn Donnarumma. And now he's got the scar on his cheek, too. He's got that little... Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What an ugly son of a bitch.
What does Buffon say after a well-played game? GG. Good game.
Oh, that's a yellow card. Sorry, Adam. You know I'm always on your corner, but this one is a yellow card. Not as good as the last ones.
Appreciate it, though. Love you, buddy.
Keep them coming.
But don't stop trying. Don't stop trying.
Turam is dividado today. He might miss the next game. How will this affect us playing without Turam? Without Turam would be big. I've said this all year long. I don't see anybody doing what he does in the middle of the pitch. So he is one of several guys that if they get a card miss the next matchup, that we'll have to watch out for. And I actually think today we could be dealing with that in the next game against Udinese. Because I think today's going to be a physical matchup. I think it's going to be tight. You've got obviously Massa as the official, so it's going to get very interesting. We could face Turam on a yellow today. How would it be playing without him? It would suck because he's literally the only guy driving it out of the middle of the park.
Him, Locatelli, 27, McKennie. There's a bunch that are on there.
Savona, Weah, Turam, and there was one other. There was one other. That's not coming to me right now. But yeah, we have 4.
I feel like Locatelli's had 16 yellow cards this year.
Lucas
feels like he's had a lot.
He's not dividado. Not.
Lucas fine. He's fine. Leave him alone.
We're good.
All right.
I think it was Cambiaso.
It's him for sure. He's one of them.
Was it a foul by Dumfries on Martin, in your opinion? Just clocked in.
No idea.
I don't know if you guys talked about it. Omar, was it a foul?
I only saw it in a slow motion replay. I didn't see it live, and I think that the slow motion replays doesn't give the full picture. It didn't look like a foul. It seems like a very light touch. You know, like walk right next to someone in the street and kick him like that, see if he falls to the ground. So no, for me, but the handball of a Cherby, I think that should have been a penalty.
I agree. I thought that should have been a PK. I actually think there was secondary contact on Yamal in the area from that challenge by Mkhitaryan, and I thought that was garbage. But this play on Dumfries, when you watch it live, I think it looked like a foul, but then after when you watch the replay, it's like, no, that's not a foul. Also, the problem with replay is you're watching it on slow-mo, and you're looking at that contact, and you're like, oh, yeah, I don't know. But there was a lot of 50-50s in that game, and yeah, whatever the choices were. But I think there was a couple PKs that Barca was probably hard done by.
I did see these highlights. The one that I thought was a PK was who was the slide tackle in the box? Was that the Mkhitaryan?
That was Mkhitaryan on Yamal. There was secondary contact with his foot planted, stepping into the area. So I'm like, I get it. He fouled him first outside, but there's another trip inside as he keeps his foot down and tries to keep going. I'm like,
that was a hell of a PK. That was a
even the Inter penalty was dubious. Like even watching at the replay, I was going like, it's not a penalty. Very light touch. He was already falling. He wasn't going to shoot. He just positioned his body well, but he didn't clip him down.
Pepe Marotta's got some weird shit going on, man. And he's like the fucking Eye of Sauron there from Lord of the Rings. He's got eyes on everything. He fucking sees everything. And, you know, they're involved in everything. This guy surpassed a team legend at Inter, like Zanetti, and became president before him, who's been there forever. Like, this guy's got some voodoo shit going on. That's all I'm going to say, okay? Yeah. The Eye of Sauron there, this motherfucker. We haven't beat Lazio in the Olimpico since 2021, brother. Every big test this team has faced this season, they have failed. Do we expect anything different today? Well,
yes.
Yeah.
Tuna. It's a great point. It's hard to argue with that, but we're keeping the faith here, all right? We're being positive.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Either jump on the train or get off the
It's
train.
also gone the opposite quite a bit this season too, where like the games where we're like worried the most sometimes and rule them out, they actually play good, at least have strong performances. And I do still say, no matter what I feel about Tudor and have doubts about him moving on in the future, I will say this. The organization, the structure is better. You top that into a game where Lazio's not going to sit back by any means.
Nope,
we will
they
have
need 3
space.
points.
I actually think we'll be okay. And I think this is going to be a good game. And I'm not terribly concerned about us falling flat or anything like that. I might have concerns about the second half and the approach, maybe keep it consistent. But I actually think first half will come out and we will match them. And I think we'll be good, and we'll be putting ourselves in a position to have that advantage at half. And that's what I want, the advantage at half. Let's see.
Also, those end of the season matches are very hard to predict. I mean, Lazio went in further than us in Europe in their last matches. They seem a bit jaded, a bit like it's the end of the season. I mean, they don't perform like they did in December or whatever. That's why I think it's up for grabs.
Like teams fall off and they start shitting the bed. Just give it time.
Yeah. Pretty much. Now, Mark says it is not just about winning. We must win with a significant margin of goals. This matters greatly if both Juve and Roma win their remaining games. No, we're going to be fine. We hold tiebreaker there. There was one team that has us on tiebreaker, and that's Bologna. Our fate is in our own hands if we just take care of business. It's head-to-head, and then it's head-to-head goal difference. 2 again, which is why we're okay other than one club, which I believe is Bologna, which I could be mistaken. Then you get to overall goal difference, and then you get to overall goals scored. So we have overall goal difference over Roma, Lazio, Bologna, Milan. We have overall goal difference on all of them. Head-to-head is where I think there's only one side out of those where it gets iffy. But overall goal difference, we sit at plus 20. Roma's at plus 18. Lazio plus 13. Bologna plus 13. We're good there. Again.
And Roma don't score a lot. Like since March, they've only scored 1 goal a match since the 9th of March. They're not a high-scoring team, and they play Atalanta, who are a high-scoring team. And if things go their way, they might widen the gap.
Yeah.
So a lot of it depends on the next few matches. I mean, it is tight, but still, if we have the lead, I don't think. Yeah.
Just win. That's
Just
it.
Win. That's
Did you guys see Luis crying his eyes out on a stream about missing Birmingham and Aston Villa? What?
No.
I'm cool with reuniting him. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Get it together, Luis. Jesus.
Well, didn't he just break up with his lady friend? Could be a combination of things.
You're a fucking pro footballer, for Christ's sake.
Relationships, breakups can be emotional to these kids.
Christ. Which games were you the most, Udinese or Venezia? I'm good with both. We get through today with a win. I'm seriously, like, it's down to the wire, crunch time, deliver. Some guys might be playing for their jobs, etc. Like, get it done. I'm actually not worried about those two today. If and I'm also feeling good about today. So let's go. Di Gregorio is the last worry for us. Sort everything else first, and then see if you can bring in Donnarumma.
Yes.
Donnarumma, Tonali, Luca, Osimhen, Udogie would be a 10 out of 10 summer. Well, holy hell, yeah, that's also like 300 mil. So, I mean, I would hope it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Jesus. Will there be a live stream for the game? You goddamn rights, there's a live stream for the game. 20 minutes before kickoff, all right? If we lose today, is it all over for the Champions League?
No. But we are
it's
on
very, very difficult. Like, then you need a lot of help.
Yeah.
Then it's not in our hands. Right now,
then it's not in our hands. And that's why I would feel like maybe it is over. It isn't technically over, but then you lose the control. And that sucks.
We're in the ICU. 24-hour care.
But
life support.
hey, everybody, hour, 20 minutes. We're going to be live.
Yeah.
I'll be live getting it back for the watch along. You guys have been amazing. Please take a second like this. All right. It was a lot of fun having the band back together. All right. Skanga. Oh, my guys.
That's awesome.
Absolute treat. Reminder, everybody, that our next giveaway is out. If you're subscribed to us on YouTube, you're already in. Okay? You're already in. We've got 2 kits and a display from our friends at Display Pro Inc. Okay? So, the 2 kits.
So someone was saying the one of the biggest conspiracies in football, me not winning one of these things.
15, 16 kit.
I should have won one.
Skanga, you're fine. Yeah. Brand new home kit. And each with one of those displays, like you see the ones behind me. Okay?
Nice. Right.
It'll be one of those displays. So we'll have 2 winners. That draw will be on the podcast for the Udinese match. All right?
Okay.
So there you go. Enter the giveaway. Being subscribed on YouTube. Bonus if you go find the posts on our other socials and share it and everything. All right? But yeah, we'll find a cool way to pick one of those winners too. One will be live show, and then the other we'll find something cool to do. For now, whatever the hell you do on match day for good luck, make it happen. Kits. You got a certain kit I should maybe rock for this one for good luck, Omer? What's a kit that you think always brings you good vibes?
The away kit from 15-16, the black one.
Oh, the third with the black and gold?
Mm-hmm. That one.
Coming right up, sir.
Oh,
you got it, buddy.
I'm shocked you have it.
You got it, buddy.
Out of the blue, you never have the kits we talk about.
That's what we're rocking today for the big match today. Okay, everybody. Again, you guys have been awesome. Drop a like, share the content, subscribe, get entered for the giveaway. Good luck to you all. And good luck to us today in the do or die matchup with Lazio. Let's hope we give them one of these, okay? We'll reconvene in about an hour's time. Till then, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Talk real soon. Let's go, baby.
Set the tone.